I think that the bricks and mortar institutions have been incredible and have been essential to our growth and success in the various countries that Muslims have migrated to in particular. I think without those institutions, it would have been very difficult for us to develop roots, to be able to feel like we have a home. And I think for that, they've given us something immeasurable. The fact that you can say, I'm going to my local masjid, or I'm going here, I'm going there, I think is something that was a gift that they gave to us. But I think at the same time, we don't recognize really how beautiful and how much of a sacrifice it took to build those institutions. It's something that we need to constantly remind ourselves of. I think in many places the idea now is that we've been past something of incredible beauty, we need to run with it. And I think that the idea of supporting people is very difficult to do because in a sense it requires a very forward-thinking viewpoint. I think when you look at bricks and mortars, oftentimes it's how do I fix this problem now? I need this structure in order to do that. Whereas, dealing with people, it's very different. You have to look far in the future. You can't see immediately if you give someone support that it's necessarily going to benefit them, especially when they're students of knowledge or when they're teachers. But the reality of it, what happens later on as that momentum builds, is where the true magic happens in terms of change, growth, and beauty. And so, there's the prophetic text where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he tells us that, charity extinguishes sins the way water extinguishes fire. And so, subhanAllah, you think about the one who you support in the recitation of the Quran. As he reads harf, letter after letter, sentence after sentence, it's like what he's doing for you is creating a torrential downpour of khair and barakah in your life that will extinguish your sins because you're supporting him.
إنه هو السميع العليم صدق الله العظيم.
Where I think we want to do is to support people in transformative ilm, a knowledge which they acquire, which they then internalize, they realize through their own selves, and as other people see them, they change as well. So I think the idea here is that what we do is that by encouraging people to learn, we're not encouraging people to learn for learning's sake. We're encouraging people to learn so that they can be transformative agents in their lives and in the lives of their families.
The limbs, to use your hands in a way that is deceitful is usually obvious. To use your limbs, your legs in a way that is deceitful is quite obvious. But the eyes are very subtle because a quick glance, a quick gaze. And then when we look upon what Allah Ta'ala doesn't love, it's like a type of a deceit.
One of the things that I've noticed in my life is that in looking at my kids and trying to give my kids certain Islamic knowledge, seeing my daughter grow has been one of the most important elements of my life. I'm learning from her and from my wife in ways that I would have never been able to learn from my sons in terms of the dynamics that we have in family. And so I think that we can never cut that group off because they are part of us. And so I think just as much as we have a duty to support our young men, we must support our young women and our mothers in their scholarship because literally they shape who we will be. It's just that simple.
Called, it was about Sayyidatna Zulaykha, the wife of Sayyidina Yusuf. It was called Nafsul Ammara Bisu.
I really like that idea of supporting new families because I do think that it's helping to give them a basis. And I think many young families are struggling financially. And without support now, they're going to be so immersed in making a living, paying for their house, paying for their other things that it's going to be too difficult for them to devote the time that they really need to. And so I think that when you look at young couples studying together, what you're giving is incredible. If they have children, they pass it, they include the children in those circles by which they study. So I think what you do is you give one, but you get back 100,000.
Concerning the manner in which the Messenger of Allah would sit, right? Literally just how he sits. Mm-hmm. And says, when I saw him, he was sitting in such a humble and tranquil manner. I trembled out of awe of him.
I think our community is suffering now because we don't have enough of these people that we can look up to, who are sort of welcoming, who are sort of have very big hearts, who want to take everyone to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so I think that we're going to continue with the trend of distancing from deen if we don't have these people, because literally they are the inheritors of the prophets. And without them amongst us, who is there to truly reflect the divine ideals that we know are there, but we might not see walking? How many people do we have in our community that we can trust to go to and to give us, advice, guidance, knowing full well the place and society circumstance that we're in, but also knowing really in depth their deen. And so the more we can afford and support people who are true pursuing the path of scholarship, the better it is, because then we can have them maximize their potential, and then their khair and their benefit to the community thereafter becomes something by which it can't be measured.